Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. It's Eat, Sleep, Pleasure, Repeat. And yes, this is the first show of the new year. How was it? How was it for you? How was it for you?
It was pretty good for me, actually, mate. Yeah, it was really good.
Awesome.
Nice Christmas, nice New Year, and now looking forward to a wonderful year with Wales. It's going to be great, even though there's no World Cup.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's
There's
fine.
plenty else going on. But first things first, right? We are in the Dodger in Newport. Now, we are there for a very specific reason, which is...
It's close to Dan's house and he finished work late.
That's exactly right. It is, yes. It also is FA Cup draw night.
Yes,
it's that.
Right.
It's
Yes,
that
it
as
is,
well.
Yes. And there's some people over there who are very excited about it because they beat Leeds on Sunday, which was a cracking result.
So well done, Newport. Congratulations to you guys. And to think, we were there on the last day of the season. They avoided the drop, and now they're knocking Leeds out and hoping for a Premier League scalp in the next round of the draw. Yeah. So we've come to talk about that, but there's plenty going on. It's a hell of a year ahead.
Yeah, cracking year, and that's what we're going to be looking ahead to. This week there's interviews all about the Wales manager, who it's going to be, apparently down to a shortlist of 3, and Osian, Bellamy and Giggs. Mark Hughes, we'll be discussing the Mark Hughes issue, will he, won't he, and getting your views on that. The League of Nations draws coming up. We've got the China Cup coming up. We're going to look ahead to the Wales, how you can get your Wales fix over the next few months.
Plenty going on. Absolutely fantastic stuff.
Year.
But first, 2 big questions. Number 1, who are Newport County going to get in the next round of the FA Cup draw? And number 2, did Lawrence get a new hat for Christmas?
Number 9. Number 18.
So there we go. Spurs visiting Rodney Parade. That's not bad, is it?
Wow, we're going to see, hopefully we'll see some of the internationals there. Hope to see Harry Kane play. I mean, that'll be something to see.
Can you win it?
Of course we can. Harry Kane will be quaking in his boots tonight. Mickey Demetrio, Mark O'Brien, he'll be quaking.
I'm loving that confident tone. You share that?
I certainly do. With the likes of Sean and Frank there, I'm sure we'll get plenty of goals.
From a great escape back in May to the victory yesterday, and now Spurs are, what, a 6 months, 7 months you guys have had?
Well, it makes up for the first 35 years or 40 years we've had. But yeah, I think I'm going to be working the ticket office. I think I'm going to be rather busy in the next fortnight. But yeah, it couldn't have been better. I'd like to see Man City, but I'll settle for Tottenham, and we'll get Man City in the 5th round.
Is it a bit of a distraction though? I mean, it's lovely. Don't get me wrong, it's lovely. But you've got things to. When we spoke to Newport fans at the start of the season, one thing that you just wanted was stability. Does this detract from that a little bit?
I don't think so, because I think the team are quite stable now. I think everything's going really well off the field, on the field. Everybody's got a confidence about them. They love playing at Rodney Parade, the new pitch.
Well, I was going to say, right, so do you want to beat Spurs here, or do you fancy taking them for a replay at Wembley?
Well, I think they could do with the money, so we'll take them to a replay so they get the extra money from the replay gate. Then we beat them in the replay at Wembley, because we're used to winning at Wembley.
So, cracking tie. Looking forward to that.
That was exciting, wasn't it?
Oh, that was so exciting.
Yeah, that was great. And I just love seeing it. Seeing the passion there. They all wanted away games at Liverpool and Manchester United, but Spurs at home, can't grumble at that, can you?
Can't grumble at that, no. That'd be fantastic.
Cardiff City as well, potentially.
Yeah, potentially.
Still
just have
have
the
a chance
mountain of Mansfield.
The mountain of Mansfield.
Yes.
Yes.
And they can entertain Manchester City.
Yes, and then Notts County away for Swans.
If they overcome Wolves.
If they cause a surprise and beat Wolves.
Yes, if they pull off a shock. Sorry, Swans. Sorry, fans. But
Anyway.
I can't help but notice that you've pulled out your laptop.
Yes, I have. Yes.
So does that mean that we're going to look ahead to the year ahead?
It does. So basically, we were doing. We thought we'd come back with a kind of like podcast style chat, just a little chat between us and you.
Just
and we got loads of stuff to talk about because we've got the manager situation, which is dragging on, and hopefully is going to be resolved in the next 10 days. We've also got the Nations League draw, and we've got the China Cup to chat about, and we've got some other Wales stuff. Also, you can get your fix of Wales coming up. So we've got all that's coming up, but we also getting lots of your opinions over the last few days on those subjects. So yeah, we'll run through those as well.
So where do you want to start then?
Oh, it's got to start with managers.
Yes.
Because it is turning into an incredible saga, an unnecessary saga, I think.
Why? Because there was only really one pick, or there were 2 picks, or just get on with it.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand why they waited. I can understand that there's no rush because you want to get it to the Nations League Nations League draw, which happens on the 24th of January. So I understand there's a bit of time, but really, there's not much that's come forward, is there? It's going to be Bellamy, Osian, or Giggs. And I've got a feeling that they're leaving it this long because it's Ryan Giggs, and they want to just get everyone into that sort of mind frame of thinking, oh wow, it's going to be Giggsy.
So it's not going to be Tony Pulis then?
It's not going to be Tony Pulis.
I know you're a big disappointment with that.
Big disappointment.
Yeah. Oh, shame. Snapped up though. Snapped up by Borough.
Yeah, snapped up. And there you go. I don't think he would have suited. He wouldn't have suited international football. He wouldn't have suited the players that we've got. And we haven't got enough money to pay him.
Yeah, there's that.
So,
but has a fly in the ointment landed in the FAW's ointment though this week? Do you think?
Well, a little bit, because obviously Mark Hughes then sacked at the weekend, lost to Coventry City, had a horrible run with Stoke, and it's the big question. You're a no, aren't you, on Hughesy?
I am, but from a strictly mediological point of view.
Oh, right.
In that he was rubbish to interview.
Right, okay.
And I can't see him being any better any time, but it's just hard work.
Yeah.
It's just purely for selfish purposes, I mean, we had it so good with Chris Coleman because he was just a delight, and then you get to Sparky and you just think, it's going to be hard work.
Yeah,
managerial, it may well be it.
Yeah, I get that. Actually, so we put it out there on Facebook, we put it out on Twitter, and you guys got in touch with us, and I was quite surprised at the results, I've got to be honest with you. Quite surprised. So, people that we did a like if you wanted Sparky back, or if you felt he could be the next manager, and an angry face on Facebook, like kind of a little bit like that. And it was 2-1 pretty much in favour of him coming back. So 113 at last count, 113 to 54 no's, and one person, Tashko Dye, he just didn't get it at all. He put a love heart. Just didn't get it at all.
Just really loves Sparky. Maybe that really loves. Yeah. Okay, but surely Twitter was a lot more informed, a lot more educated. Surely they were No,
we're talking Twitter here, but no. So again, in Twitter, it was a huge amount of people that were very positive about Sparky. So for our final one that we've got here in front of me right now, 225 likes and 81 against. So it's difficult. It's difficult.
But
you don't understand.
Is it because of a lack of what people perceive to be credible candidates?
I think that's my theory on it. Is there actually is an ambivalence towards the list that's there. There's a lot of love and a lot of respect out there for Osian, but I think people maybe aren't quite convinced that maybe he can be a manager. He's never been a manager as such at a sort of that elite level, although he has an incredible amount of international experience. So I think people are concerned on that front. Ryan Giggs has no international experience as a manager, or no experience as a manager, and Bellamy doesn't either. And I think that's a concern for people, and also all the other things that people feel about Giggs. But, so I think that actually the point being that
it's Giggs.
It's going to be Ryan Giggs.
It's going to be Ryan Giggs.
I like this from Rachel, though. Rachel Word on Twitter. Brilliant, this was. So a couple of people put theirs on there. We had Granger Coley going. A fine player, Sparky. Never won anything as a manager. Probably never will. And as much as I like him, I do wish he'd smile a bit more. So didn't want him in there.
Media training.
Rachel Word.
Smile a bit more.
He was a wonderful player in Barcelona. We like him so much. We remember him with love and his strong legs. Now, if that's not a tipped endorsement to be the next Wales manager, then that's all good. I mean, look, there's a lot of love out there for Sparky for what he did as a player, and I think maybe people just think that if he's got that experience, perhaps they can come back in. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think he will. Actually, the murmurings we're hearing is that he doesn't actually want the job.
Okay.
So it might be a nothing.
All right, fair enough. Right, Nations League then, which you need a degree in applied mathematics to truly understand, but thankfully you have one.
Well, luckily we're actually, it's not really, we're not going to talk about it in detail of what it means and all that kind of stuff. We're just going to
pick places we like. All we want to do is we're going to pick places that we want to go.
The things that we do know about the Nations League is that there's going to be 3 pots. Wales is going to be in pot 1, and then we're going to play a team from pot 2, and we're going to play a team from pot 3.
Lovely.
Yes.
Crack on then. Who are the runners and riders? And what has the social sphere been saying?
Obviously, in our pot, we are pot 1. Pot 2 will be Sweden, Ukraine, Republic of Ireland and Bosnia. Now it gets slightly complicated in this point because Russia, who are in Pot 1, cannot play Ukraine because there are international issues there at play. So that makes it more likely that they're going to play one of the other three, obviously, but we could play Ukraine. So anyway, we've got to choose one from Pot 2. We also just have to choose one from Pot 3. Northern Ireland, Denmark, Czech Republic, Turkey.
Okay. Do we know when about these games are going to be played? Because climate is going to be very important at this point.
Yes, climate is going to be very important. It's going to be in September, October, November next year. Basically, in those international windows in the autumn, that's when these games are going to be played. The draw, 24th of January.
All right, okay. So yes, I mean, I picked mine too, but yeah, carry on.
Go on then, let's hear your
No. Let's find out what everybody else said first off.
Really? Okay. Well, there was a lot of love out there, it has to be said, for Sweden. A lot of love out there for Sweden. And there's one man in particular, Michael, Chopper, who we play with in the fans team. And he's whacked out.
You play with? I stand and watch.
Yeah, you do. He's put this photo up. This is his reason for wanting to select Sweden. It possibly explains quite a lot about Chopper. But I'm sort of won over by that argument. That's a reasonable argument.
It's certainly well presented.
It certainly is, yes. A fine footballing nation with a great history.
It is phenomenally expensive for a beer, though.
Yeah. Well, there's Denmark as well in Pot 3, and I imagine Denmark's pretty similar, so that could be a really expensive couple of trips, couldn't it?
So, if we're working on that long line, then what we're looking for is somewhere a little bit cheaper.
Yes, we are, yeah. Colin Lewis, he's thrown up Ukraine. Kiev was cracking last trip, so let's have that, and the Czech Republic. Cole's gone for cheap. I like it. Good work, Cole.
I like that one.
Yeah, I can take that.
I like that.
What else have we got down here? We got Ukraine, Bosnia, Sweden in that order from Kevin Davis. Czech Republic, Denmark, Turkey in that order. So yeah, loads of. But I do think that a lot of people, certainly on Facebook, were going down the route of maybe a Ukraine and either Czech Republic or Denmark. But we put it to Twitter as well.
Oh, did we really?
Do polls.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm intrigued. Okay, right, all right.
So here we go. Little drum roll. In Pot 2, we had 49% for Sweden, 25% for Ukraine, 50% for Bosnia, and 11% for the Republic of Ireland.
Well, I'm completely unsurprised by the Republic of Ireland results. Actually, the only surprise is that 11% of people want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. The main consensus from absolutely all of you was that we don't want to go to Ireland for either game, because there'd be lots of no draws.
It's nothing against you, Ireland. You're lovely, but we don't like you.
Okay.
That's basically it.
Well, you're going for the not like. I was just going for the it'd be rubbish games and it's a bit too close to home.
Well, after the treatment in Dublin,
that was pretty shabby.
Pretty shabby.
And
then they rolled us over at home.
I'd quite like to go to Windsor Park.
Oh no, fair enough. Yeah. But that's going to be an awful game.
More than I'd like to go to Czech Republic, Turkey.
It's going to be exactly. Yes, you see, Czech Republic in September.
Turkey in October, mate. Beautiful. Fantastic. So anyway, so Pot 3 on Twitter, and these are the results as they are standing right now. 39% for the Czech Republic, a trip to Prague. Denmark close behind, 31%. Turkey 15%, and Northern Ireland 15%. So Turkey not getting a lot of love there.
I'm surprised. I think people are thinking about the Czech beer. That's what they're not thinking. That's what they're thinking about. They're not thinking of temperate climate, gorgeous beaches, and cheap beer, which is what you get in Turkey. So I think people aren't thinking this through. They're not thinking this through straight.
No. But it'd be great. I think it's going to be quite an exciting little tournament, actually, because it'll come off the back of the World Cup. We'll have not had any competitive away games for ages.
Yes.
Because I can't imagine there's a huge take-up for the China Cup. But yeah, and so I think it'd be a cracking. I think it'd be good. Fingers crossed.
My phone has just beeped, which tells me it's time to move on.
Oh right, was that your timing?
That was our timer saying we got to move on. I think producer Dan's just texted me from the other side of the table. He's saying like, crack on, get on, boys, come on. China Cup.
Yes. Are we going?
I don't know.
We still haven't figured that out.
Figured that out yet.
It's like on
I'll
a
tell
knife
you
edge.
about mid-March.
Yeah. There's no easy jet, is there, to China?
certainly
It's
isn't.
really annoying.
It's really hard to get to.
It's kind of quite long, isn't it? It's going to be a long trip.
The visa's quite
So
expensive.
good luck if you are going. Fair play to you.
We might see you there. We might.
Yeah, the
We'll see.
visas. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
yeah.
We'll see. The decision's in the next couple of weeks, I think,
Yes.
isn't it? But great chance for the new coach to come in. They're going to be their first games in charge, and the team will get a chance to bond with the manager. And fingers crossed, it'll be quite an interesting little trip. But
And
we
try a
go
few
in.
new things, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? So if you can take an Ampadu and you can take Woodburn and you can take Brooks and maybe a couple of the other youngsters and get them really bedded in and into the squad and feeling like they're part of the squad and trial out ready for the Nations League and then the Euro 2020 qualifiers. I think it's going to be a good little trip.
I'm still looking for Nanning on a map, to be perfectly honest.
South China.
South China.
I had this visions of us going into Vietnam and then coming up, but apparently visa-wise that's just not.
It's not.
a
No,
thing.
you can't do that.
No.
It's Hong Kong and back or something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, right. So that is China Cup in a nutshell.
Yeah,
In a
it is.
nutshell.
It is. We'll deal with it more closer to the time. Yeah.
I love what you've done with it. This is a feature. Now, if you ever followed our podcasts years ago when we actually did just the audio before you actually saw our faces and everything, Lawrence had a feature that he came up with called Wales Watch. And you brought it back, I noticed. It's in the running order here.
Yeah, but it's different.
It's different.
It's different this time. So I wasn't going to do the whole Wales Watch thing.
You're not doing that?
No, I wasn't going to do that.
The kind of thing that needs it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, but it's not the right thing because it's different. Yeah, it's different. It's different.
Fine.
We'll save the other one.
We'll save it.
This was just basically how to watch Wales because obviously we need our fix. It's been way too long. So there's a few things coming up on the horizon that we can go and see, that you can go and see Wales playing. The first being actually later this month. We're hosting the Deaf Futsal Euro qualifiers. I think it's Bosnia, Wales, Turkey and someone else. I can't remember who the other team are. It's all taking place at the Cardiff House of Sport, 19th and 20th of January. We're going to be there.
We're going to be there, yeah. There'll be a bit of Wales action there, and the futsal always got atmosphere and always pulsating, fast-paced action.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought to myself, hey, the under-21s, they're bound to be in action during the China Cup. So if we're not going to China, then we'll probably go to watch the under-21s. They're playing in Bosnia.
Are they?
They're playing in Bosnia.
Okay.
That's not that close either, to be quite honest with
It's
you.
not.
But that's a really big game for the under-21s. They've made an okay start in their Euro qualifying group, so they're kind of around about mid-table. We can put that up now, Dan. So it's going okay. But they need this win in Bosnia to get themselves back on track and then push on, hopefully, for the next sort of set of fixtures in the autumn.
All right then, so futsal, under-21s then, what else you got?
Well, also then, coming up in April, it's the big one for the women. It's the big game against England. Obviously, you can see from this table that Wales are top of the table.
Top of the table.
Top of the table.
Top of the table.
They've played the...
Just say it again, top of the table.
The top of the table.
Top of the table.
Yeah.
But anyway.
They're above England, obviously. So this game is a huge game now. Obviously, England are massive favourites. Massive favourites. The game's at St Mary's in Southampton, so I think we're going to be going along there. We're going to check that out.
We're going to go out for that. Root for the girls, yeah.
And if as many of you as possible fancy coming down for that, that'd be great as well, because we get some really good support.
Well worth it, and they deserve it.
Yeah, they do. And then obviously that builds through to June, and this is where it gets really crucial because they've got Bosnia and Russia at home in June. From those three games, if Wales can take 6 points, then they're definitely going to be pushing for that second place and that pool of teams that play off for the World Cup, which would be absolutely incredible. So yeah, big couple of months.
Big stuff. So you see, plenty of Wales stuff. Plenty of Wales stuff coming up throughout the year. We just set it all out for you there. You get your Wales fix, don't you worry.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
Well,
Yeah.
how are you feeling about 2018? Gonna be a good
2018,
year?
I know. I feel kind of positive about it all. Yeah, I think there's a chance to explore. You know, I think I summed it up best.
Well, you probably did. Mate.
I probably did.
Absolutely.
When I said that football is football and Wales is Wales. So whoever is wearing a Wales shirt,
Man, that's so deep.
isn't it? It works on many levels. So whoever is wearing a Welsh shirt, they are deserving of that fantastic Welsh passionate support that you get. That's my belief. That's where it comes from, the heart.
And you know what? I know there's a lot of not necessarily warmth towards Ryan Giggs from many fans, but I think if he wins a few games, you know, he's going to be manager. If he's manager of Wales and he wins a few games, we'll get behind him, won't we?
We will.
Because it's Wales.
Totes go down. It's Wales.
Right.
It's Wales.
Yeah, and we've got Ampadu and Brooks, and we've got all these youngsters about to break into the main team. It's exciting times.
Awesome. Right, well, I think that just about wraps us up.
Okay, mate.
I think that will do us. We've prattled on quite enough there. And I think they're starting to clear tables and stuff around us here at the Dodger in Newport. So we should probably give it a go. Social media details are all around here. If you want to catch up on our programs, they're all on our YouTube channel, including the video from our Christmas party, which was seems like ages ago. Neville Southall and Tash Harding.
Thank you for everyone who came as well.
Thank you for everybody who came. Yeah, absolutely lovely evening. Slight controversy around the all-time Wales top 11 that they chose. They chose with the fans' consultation in the room. I think we should qualify that.
Yeah.
We didn't actually pick a name, didn't we? We didn't pick anybody. We didn't do that. Slight controversy over Ian Rush not making the Wales 11, which...
Yeah, it's funny because most of our stuff on Facebook and Twitter is really positive, and so we don't usually feel the anger, do we? But there are some people who get really angry about stuff.
Oh, angry
really
people. Angry.
Me.
I think the quote that springs to mind is worst football article I've ever read.
Article in quotation marks.
Yes, in quotation marks.
Not even a proper
showing the
article.
sheer disdain of the word article, I think.
Yeah.
But hey, it's opinions.
Do you know what? That team, it's just an opinion, and it won't have to take to the field for the next 20 games.
Yes. But if you're wondering what we were talking about, go and watch the programme. It's on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/eatsleepfooty.
I should say thank you to Callum as well for writing it.
Oh, totally. We should totally blame Callum for writing it. Even though all he did was copy it, he just wrote the team that they picked.
Yes.
But thank you very much, Callum, for taking the heat on that one, fella. That wraps us up then. Until next time, cheers. Ta-da.
Cheers, guys.